Well, yours truly messed up well and truly with this video, didn't he? I was quite stunned when information I was looking at about Llanberis seemed to suggest, as I mentioned in the video, that it wasn't a naturally formed lake, that it had formed when the lower half of the Norwich quarry had flooded. And I've been thinking about this and thinking about this, and I thought, well, okay, I'll let the video go out, and then instead of going back and having to re-edit and all the rest of it, I would add a further video with any further information I've got to clarify matters. Now, my first step was to go and look at an 1885 Ordnance Survey map, and there, funnily enough, it shows Llanberis and also Llanberis. So they have been around for donkeys. Well, I thought, this is very strange, and I went and did some more reading, and it did take a little while to dig it out, but what I found is that the large section of the quarry known as the Vivian quarry, shortly, just to explain, one of the reasons why the quarries closed is not just for the downturn of the slate industry, but where they just piled a lot of the waste, and there was a considerable amount of waste in the slate industry, where they just piled it around, some of it started to fall, and various workings were being filled in and what have you, and it all came together at a fairly similar time. And what happened was, to quote Jethro, the bottom section of the Vivian quarry, not the whole giant quarry, but the bottom section of the Vivian quarry, very shortly after it closed, within weeks it had flooded with this lovely deep blue water, and now it's used by scuba divers and all sorts of people as a recreational activity, and it's perched quite high up on the hillside, which makes the thing rather strange, but there you go. So that is the bit that flooded, and yes, it was the lower half of the quarry, but it wasn't the lower half of the whole damn quarry, just the Vivian bit of it. So there we are. I hope that clears that up. I apologise for mistakes that I made in the main video, but at least yours truly does do his best to realise he's made mistakes and try and find out the truth of the matter. It doesn't alter the fact though that this is a really lovely place, and it has a rich history to it, and the slate industry is not dead. There are small quarries around because Welsh slate, particularly blue slate for roof tiles, is still very much in demand. So you'll find a quarry up near Bethesda, you'll find quarries working still in the Festiniog area and up near Llandudno, as well as a few other places. So the slate industry itself is not dead, but what we have been left with is this lovely area where you can find out more of the history of the Slate Museum. It's a living history. You can see the inclines, you can see where the quarry, the inclines and the levels were, and of course you've got the lovely Welsh Slate Museum. So apologies for my mistake in the video, but I hope the information I've given you will now put matters right.